Hey y'all, this is Anna Alexander. Welcome back to my basement on opening weekend of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. And I actually last night came home, did a whole stream of conscious review like I usually do. But usually those take me about 20 minutes-ish. I can edit them down. Last night I was going for about 45 minutes and I still felt as if I wasn't creating a coherent thought because I am so conflicted about this movie. And so I went to sleep, woke up this morning, and I actually had that aha, oh, that's what it is. And it had created a domino effect about why I felt about this movie the way I did. So hopefully now I can be a little bit more coherent and concise. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because my whole goal doing these reviews for you all is just to give you a little bit of idea if you want to spend your time and your money and now your health going to a theater. So that said, non-spoilers up front. So the reason I was conflicted going in, and I'm sure I wasn't the only one who had this thought, which was, can you have a Black Panther movie without T'Challa? And the answer is no, you can't. You cannot have a Black Panther film without T'Challa. And a large part of that does have to do with the magic that was Chadwick Boseman. We got near the start of the film, the scrolling Marvel page flip, but it's all Chadwick. And it's moving and it's beautiful. And then we had, the funeral scene for T'Challa, which we've seen in the trailers. And that's a big thing of what this movie is about. This movie is like most of Phase 4. It is about grief and it is about loss and legacy and how do you move on? Because T'Challa had in his life 4 very strong, dominant forces helping him become T'Challa. His mother, his sister, Okoye, and Nakia. And so what should have been a movie about them dealing with their grief in different ways, we didn't get because we had Namor thrust at us. And then people started making choices that they shouldn't have, choices that didn't make sense. And it became a lot of things were happening not because they could have, it's because somebody else along the way, production-wise, said we should have done this. That's what it felt like to me. It kind of feels as if MCU is telling us, and now with Black Panther's Wakanda Forever, is forcing us to say, hey, the MCU of 10, 15 years ago has passed away. It has died. We are now having to move forward, and we're going to have a good time with new Avengers and new stories, but we're grieving, and then we're going to move on. So the whole time I'm watching it, I'm going, why is this not gelling? Something is off, something is off, something is off. But what's off is a spoiler, so I'll wait till later. The people that are in it are fabulous. Acting-wise, great. Visually, it's all there. Angela Bassett, Queen Ramonda, Queen. She was a queen, and you felt it right from the start. She's now the head of Wakanda again. She's got brought before the UN to answer for, because basically there's some countries out there, United States, who are upset because Wakanda hasn't shared their vibranium toys. To which she very smartly says, that's because you're irresponsible and we're not going to do that. Good luck elsewhere. And not only are you irresponsible, again, we saw the scene with the whoever military guys attacking the Wakandan little base there. You all countries, boom, 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 sent out mercenaries. Go fuck yourself in the nicest way possible. It was stunning. It was powerful. Just the way they dressed her compared to the other people in the UN. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then the rest of the story just kind of fell apart after that. And it was like, oh, so promising, but again, Namor. Another thing I find fascinating about just the Black Panther films themselves, the two of them, especially this one though. So Wakanda is its own little separate world. It's isolated for its protection. And that's how this film feels in the rest of the MCU. If you're not a big MCU fan, you don't need to rush out and see this. right away. My aunt came with us. She doesn't really watch MCU, but she loves the Black Panther films. She loves Shang-Chi. Those are her little jams. She was able to watch this and follow along because really has nothing to do with the rest of the MCU right now. There's not one word of multiverse. There's not one word of magic. Although there's magical, mystical things going on, there's no sorcerers, nothing, no variants, nothing. So you can Black Panther, watch it on your own. So do you have to rush out and see it? No, you can wait and watch it in the comfort of your home and still enjoy yourself and still know what's going on. And, it's fine. So I find that fascinating how it's so separated from the rest of the world, of all the worlds. So much of this is spoiler heavy. So one last thing I will just say before moving on to the spoilers, which is, and I don't know if it was the movie or my movie theater, but the sound was off. There was parts that were so loud. You know when things are really loud and you kind of lose consciousness and focus for 10 seconds until you can right yourself? That's what happened during some scenes in this film. So I lost dialogue. I kind of lost what was going on because my ears were assaulted by sound. And then we had some scenes that the backing music, I don't even think it was the score, it was just different tracks they played, were louder than the dialogue. And some of it, the beat of the music didn't match the tone of the scene. So I'm like, am I supposed to feel what the song is played, or am I supposed to feel what they're saying and doing? And a lot of Riri's lines, I lost. It was almost like, yeah, like it was muffled for some reason. And again, I'd be interested to find out if that was the movie or if that was just my theater, because it was just another layer of what is happening to my movie experience that kind of made it overall jarring. Now, I'm not saying this because I hated this movie. I did not hate this movie. Please do not make this seem as if I hated this movie. It's just there was a missed opportunity. And that missed opportunity is what's making me go, conflicted. Which means onto the spoilers. We need to go onto the spoilers for me to make the first thing part of this video make sense. Which is, again, Namor. Namor as a character, interesting, lots of grayness to him. So there's some nuance, some depth. However, the DNA of your character has to do with their GMC, goal, motivation, conflict. Who are they? What do they want? Why can't they have it? So Namor is the ruler of this underground kingdom, wants to be a Wakanda underground. The rest of the world, stay away because you're all terrible, enslavers, horrible people. Leave us be to grow and prosper on our own. Great. Got it. So he comes to Ramonda and Shuri and saying, hey, there was a machine that detects vibranium. It came into our neighborhood. We can't have that. So I need you to go find the scientists that made this machine so I can kill them. Why do they want the Wakandans? Because they think they know who invented this machine, because the reason the world knows about vibranium, as if they didn't already know about it in some case before, which we knew they did, was he blames it on the Wakandans. Okay, here's the thing. This is why that's... The machine's already made. It's not as if this one scientist made this huge-ass complicated machine, went by themselves down into the depths of the ocean to find this vibranium in Namor's hood, and they escaped his clutches. That's not what happened. There was massive people involved with this machine. So why does he want to killing the scientist? What does that do? Those plans are already out there. There could be multiple machines for all he knows. So right there, subconsciously, my brain is going, this doesn't make sense. And because of that, I question his leadership through the rest of the film. None of his choices make sense. Like, I know why he wants to do them, but how he goes about doing them, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? What? And armchair quarterbacking. They had it there in the scene even, where basically he says the reason the world knows about vibranium as they do now is because of your son promised it to the world and then took it away, and you didn't deliver. So now they're out searching for it themselves, which brings them now to my neighborhood. And now this is why it's your problem. They didn't do that. He said, go get the scientists and bring them to me so I can kill them. So it could have been another layer to their process and their grief with not only what he meant T'Challa to them personally, but also what it meant for the world and what his decisions that he made while he was alive, how it's going to affect them now, both for good and for ill, because now they're going to be in this fight with Namor. Are they going to be allies or are they going to be enemies? It was there, the setup was there, but is that what we got? No, we didn't. We didn't get that. And that's what makes me raging. Just going, oh, missed opportunity. Because again, the core of this movie should be these 4 women dealing with their grief. But now we're getting Namor jammed in there. Okay, fine, make it make sense. And if you made it make sense, that means we did not need the scientist, i.e. Riri. She did not need to be in this film. The whole CIA, Ross, all of that had nothing to do with what should have been the core of the film. Because even when they got Ross to say, hey, who's the scientist? She's over there. His part's done. We didn't need any other parts of the world. It could have just been all about Wakanda and Talocan and their clashing of, are we allies or are we enemies? We didn't need any of the CIA involved in any capacity. But I can see again, you get a note from on high, we must fit Riri into here somewhere. Okay, how about instead of her being the scientist Namor once killed, Wakanda needs help developing some kind of weapon to now fight underground, which they're not used to. Oh, Riri's part of our outreach program. She had something, let's pull her in. So again, it's like somebody's playing with a Lego set and they dump them out. Some people can put it all together and make beautiful sculptures, and other people just kind of stick things together and you're like, I kind of get what you're trying to do, but nice try. That's what this feels like. They had these pieces they were forcing together and they just got impatient, it felt, and jammed them in. So they stuck out oddly, which was what Riri felt like. She was an afterthought. Because again, okay, so Namor, again, Namor's got the scientist in his hand at one point, and he doesn't kill her. His whole thing was, find scientists, I want to kill them. He has the scientist, doesn't kill them. Then we've got Shuri down below in the water. You are the first person to see Talocan. No one else has been here, yet we have a machine. This really elaborate suit for you right now so that you can survive coming down to see the land that I am protecting. What? Okay. And it was just moments like that over and over again that was making me go, what is happening? There was, however, something that was, had such potential, and they were delivering on it mostly, but it was very conflicting for other reasons, which was, okay, so Shuri takes the herb, becomes the Black Panther, shows up, she's in the afterlife. Now, I have to say, my whole theater I was in, packed, quiet, somber, pretty much the entire film. She shows up on that throne expecting to see her mom, and we got Eric Killmonger. And the audience was like, woohoo, yeah, all right. Oh, wait, no, he's the bad guy. Shouldn't be. Okay. Woohoo. It was this weird kind of collective, and some people giggled afterward because I think they were excited to see him because he was familiar in this changing world that we were in. He was a familiar thing. They got what he was about. They connected and they got excited. But I was also getting excited because here's Killmonger and he's like, no, you called me. Why did you call me? And then you realize she wanted vengeance. So she connected with the ancestor who was all about vengeance. And that was like, ooh, I am intrigued. This could be interesting. But it was also very unsettling because Black Panther is noble and honorable and tries to do what's right. And Killmonger was all about vengeance. So you immediately associated vengeance, and you knew this Black Panther wasn't gonna make good choices. And they even reflected that down to her costume with the little gold shining through, just like Killmonger's did. It was great, it was fascinating, but it wasn't, you don't wanna see an angry, vengeful Black Panther. So conflicting, she was making choices. There was a lot of people that died for no reason. Just sacrificing people. Why? Because the movie just stops. Like, nope, we're not gonna fight each other. We need to be peaceful. This shouldn't be who we are. So just back off. And they go, and Namor goes, cool, okay. They should have both been dead. So again, a missed opportunity, and that's why I'm, I would be interested to know if some of y'all, if you felt that missed opportunity, because I know seen a few reviews already. Some people just loved it. They loved every bit about it. And if you did, great, I'm so happy for you. But I'd be curious if some of you were going, okay, this is why this feels the burrs under the saddle blankets. I'm feeling them. Okay, this makes more sense because I want more stories about the women of Wakanda. And supposedly Black Panther's coming back. I hope we get those because I am intrigued. I'm intrigued. So there it is. There is my 2 cents. That's how I felt for the last 12 plus hours. Did you love it? Did you go, something was missing? I would love to hear because I think this is a film that upon thinking about it, you will start feeling different things. And that whole process, I find fascinating. Yeah, so please come back and see me after you take care of yourself, stretch your bodies, drink some water. There's lots of fun stories for us to share together. And I'd like you with me for those adventures. So thank you again. And until next time, y'all.